Hello and welcome. This is Generic with episode 5 of my Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster playthrough. When last we left off, we were outside of Melmond, and that is where we're going to pick up off. Basically, from here, we just need to travel to the west and head over to the Cave of the Earth. I do want to keep encounters on. That way, hopefully, I can fill out my bestiary in this area. Let's see. Kind of head around. Definitely don't need these warg wolves. Luckily, they're not all that difficult. Excellent. All right. So we need to head down south to the Devil's Tail. And that cave right there that you could just see, that is where we are actually heading. Oh man. Got stunned. Luckily, Dia or Fire should take care of this. Yeah. And that's why Dia was one of those spells that I definitely recommended picking up. It is situational as far as only good against undead, but it does pretty good damage, even from the get-go. So we're going to save it, make sure that we're ready to go, and hopefully not have too much trouble. All right, head inside. And if you pull up the map, there's a room in there with chests, and 2 rooms down there with chests. So we'll go get those. See, there's stairs to the east and to the west. You'll actually, I don't know if it is in this version, but I know in the original one, it actually used to be like the north-south passage at the far west was every step would be an encounter. So if you were looking for a place to level up, that was a pretty good place. You did not spend a lot of time wandering around. It was just fight after fight after fight. Or if you didn't realize it and you just thought yourself very unlucky. Excellent. Get some levels up. See what we still need as far as the bestiary. Got that good ogre chief finally. So still missing that one. I think that's the shadow. Uh, we will likely encounter it elsewhere, so I don't plan on spending a lot of time hunting that down. Pretty much. So number 49 there, that is the boss of the Earth Cave. So by the end of the Earth Cave, we should have everything from 49 and below. That's our goal, at least. Minotaurs, not a big deal. Especially when you've got Mighty Hugh and his black beltness. Monsters. Excellent. And there's an Earth Elemental. So the elementals tend to hit kind of hard, but they're not super difficult. You just need to, I guess, in groups, you need to make sure that don't you don't let your people get too low on hit points. So now let's make our way to the south. Those two rooms down there. So many fights. The encounters in, especially the original Final Fantasies, they can get pretty high as far as your encounter rate. So that is why it's really nice that the Pixel Remaster lets you turn off encounters. I think there are definitely times where you just want to get through it, and it doesn't really make much of a difference if you fight everything. But at the same time, like I don't like running away, so just being able to turn off the encounters is pretty nice. It's also very useful when you run out of healing and you need to make your way back. That was always an issue, typically in the marsh cave that I had, where I would be, I would get the crown, and then you have to walk back, and it would be pretty taxing. All right, so we should still have I think the room to the bottom right now. A little Hilara. Pretty good healing with that, so I'm not too concerned with Corrin. He's got high defense and a lot of hit points. All these spiders. Uh, don't poison me. Don't poison me. Ah, you poisoned me. Luckily, we bought a ton of antidotes, so it's not the end of the world. It's just aggravating that after the combat, got to open up the menu and use an antidote. So it's more annoying than really an issue, but still don't like it. That knight's armor was definitely a good purchase. Yeah. Antidote. And Corrin, you feel better now. Alright, get in the door. More monsters. More earth elementals. Oh, what a surprise. Another earth elemental. Alright, so that's all the chests on this floor. So we'll actually come in to the Cave of the Earth multiple times, or twice. Just we'll, I think it's the third or fourth floor. There's a mini boss. I think it's the third floor. There's a mini boss, and then uh, you'll come back to proceed further in down to, I believe it's the fifth floor. So luckily, by doing all the combat now, getting all the chests, when we come back, we can just turn encounters off and run through it. Don't have to painfully make our way through. We are definitely a little higher level than this place is meant to be. There's a door down there, and then door over there. So we'll just come up and around through that passage, go into that door, get the item. That would be the way down, and then down here would be the other room. Got some werewolves. Werewolves poison you too. It's like I could see the future. All right, so let's heal Corin. I'm sure he'd really appreciate that. Let's use Akira. I figure based on his hit points, if we just keep him about like, I don't know, 300, 350, he should be just fine. Oh, let's see. Excellent. No one got poisoned. Move, bat. All right. Coral sword. It's actually good against aquatic enemies. So not very helpful right now in the Cave of the Earth. But depending on what we've got by the time we start fighting more aquatic enemies, it could be useful. So this is definitely why either a black mage or a red mage, you at least want somebody that can cast some AoE spells. Later on, you will get items that will cast spells when you use them in battle, so that can help supplement you. But until that point, uh, having like Thyra, Thundara, that sort of thing, it just there's a lot of times when you end up fighting a lot of enemies and they're just really obnoxious, and you just want it to be over. So can't beat the AoE spells for that. Is it an Earth Elemental? It is an Earth Elemental. Alright, get these chests. And then we will be ready to head down. Poisoned again. Sorry, Hugh. There you go. Don't want him dying, I guess. Honestly, uh, so in the original Nintendo, um, it's actually kind of better if you kind of stagger your characters out so they don't all level up at the same time. Just because uh, when I was talking about like the good levels or the strong levels versus the weaker levels, um, as far as getting hit points, when they all gain a level at the same time, um, it typically you don't gain all strong levels all at once. So if you stagger them in the original Nintendo, you could just if you leveled up and you got a weak level, you could actually just reset it and then try again, essentially, by getting back in a fight, and it would calculate it on the fly. So at the end of the battle, it would calculate. So just because you fought one thing and got a weak level, you could reset it, fight something, and get a strong level. Well, this version you can't. Um, I don't know exactly how far out it calculates, but at the very least, if you don't close out of the game entirely, your random number generation set doesn't reset. So if you get a weak level, reset it, and get in a fight again, it's going to give you that same level. I think if you quit out entirely, you could potentially end up getting a different level set, but I don't know that most of your people are going to end up with max hit points if you level them all the way up to level 99. So I don't know that I would necessarily recommend doing that. Plus, your guys are going to be plenty powerful and should not be dying too often, especially as you get to the higher levels. So for me, I wouldn't recommend it. Just take the levels you get and move on. But hope for good ones. All right, there's that chest. Oh yeah, sorry. What I was saying in this game, especially the Pixel Remaster, since you can't reset it or anything, I like all my people leveling up at the same time. I don't like letting them die, so that's what I try and do. Just keep everyone alive. Oh, where? There's doors. Another door. And then that is the mini boss that we have to fight. He's inside there. Oh, nice cockatrice. So these do turn you into stone. As you can see, you got turned into stone, but luckily it doesn't adjust your experience. So conveniently enough, we have just the spell for that. And we don't have any other spells at that level, so it's perfect. So many Pisco demons. Oh, bat, move. Move, bat. Move. Save it real quick. It's monsters. It's another earth elemental. How bizarre. Oh, man. All right. Where else do we need to go? Stunned. Thank you so much. So we got two. No need to go in there. All right, so one more room with a chest in it, and then we'll get to our mini boss. Excellent levels. Oh, good hit. Of course. Way to go, Black Mage. Creston, always so few hit points. All right, so. Oh. Ochre jellies. I don't know. Oh yeah, Blizzara. Okay, well, spells obviously quite useful. And it's mummies. Starting to feel like we're not really seeing anything new here. Let's see. Heal up a little bit. All right. Yep, there's the Earth Elemental. The obligatory Earth Elemental monster in a box. At least they give decent gil and experience points. All right, so after this Pisco Demon fight, we've got our mini boss, and the reason I say mini boss is because right now he's kind of like a little boss that we have to fight, but later on he'll just be another enemy. So quick save. All things in this void are destined to end in death. The seal cannot be broken, and so the earth shall rot. It's a vampire. You cannot alter destiny. Mere mortals cannot kill the undying. And I have just a spell for you, Diara, and he's weak to fire. So, Fyra. Yep, take that, vampire. He's also weak to swords. That was kind of a quick thing. All right. We got, or you obtained the Star Ruby. Now I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, what good is the Star Ruby? But you'll see very shortly. So now that we've got this, we've got to leave here. So the way is blocked if we were to continue on through that door. So we need to use the Star Ruby to continue our quest. Save it. And of course, turn off encounters because don't feel like going through it all. This would also be a fantastic place to have been able to get exits or warp or whatever. Okay, so we've got one thing missing. Okay. Not bad. Yeah. Bat. 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 I dislike how the NPCs always get in the way. It seems like these bats just are constantly blocking doorways. All right, so now that we're out, turn encounters back on, obviously. There's still some enemies around this area that we have not fought yet. Those enemies are not the ogre. But we're going to come up here and come over to the west into this cave that you can just barely see. Oh, ambushed. All right. Well, on the bright side, these are the shadows that that we were missing. I think it's like 26 or something. Pretty sure. Check real quick. Yeah, there we go. Yep, 26, the shadow. So now we've got that. Always save it. That way you don't have to try finding things again, just in case something happens. Lightning storms, finger accidentally on the power button, whatever. You have Star Ruby? Give me Star Ruby and I let you pass. Oh, what's he want that for? Oh, that's right, to eat it. Nom nom nom. Crunch, munch. Nothing tastier than rubies. And away he disappears slowly into the wall. All right. Oh, nice. Lesser Tiger. Let's see what's down here. Some chests, if I recall correctly. And some wargwolves. Always with the wargwolves. I mean, luckily they die pretty quickly. Nice. Level up. Level 30. Strong level, strong level, strong level, and Greston pulling up the weak level. Alright, excellent. Great Axe, which isn't so great. There's our Helm, and Gil and Gil. Fantastic. Great Axe, not as good. Alright. Karen Verth. Kind of just make sure that we've got all of the treasure chests and that we can get. Ogre and the Ogre Chief. Fantastic. Alright, so we're going to head out here and then just kind of follow this S path around. Get annoyed at the tarantulas. Hope they don't end up poisoning us. And sadly, they did. Alright, so follow this around, and there's this cave down here. That is the Sage's Cave. Yes. It's so hard seeing pots and not being like, oh, I've got to check those. Especially if you play any of the older or other Final Fantasy games after this one, when there is actually things in pots. So you are the ones who defeated the vampire, eh? He was but a servant. The beast corrupting the earth crystal lurks much deeper within the cavern. Here, take this staff with you and use it behind the vampire's chamber. You obtain the earth rod. So now we've got to go all the way back. Let's see. How many enemies do we still need? 37, which I don't think is there. So we're missing one, and then 47 and 48, I'm pretty sure are in levels 5 and 6. So really, I think we're just missing one enemy that we need to encounter. So I don't know, not necessarily quite ready for turning off encounters. But if we can find that one, then 100%. Warg wolves. It's a never-ending struggle. All right, get out of here. Head to the east. get attacked by more shadows now that we've added them to the bestiary. Clearly, they will become common enemies. All right. So probably going to, I guess, probably rest and save it here, and then we'll start off the next episode heading back to the Earth Cave. It's like deja vu. Uh, probably start off in the exact same spot. Head on out and save it real quick. All right, there we go. So this ends episode 5. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I will hopefully see you for episode 6, where we take on the Fiend of Earth.